do this in prime time. Under the bright lights for you on the sidelines. The fans in the stands keeping doubly bright high. The gridiron fly guys, the green and the gold, yeah, they call it the franchise. The gizmos, miles, the moves, the Kepleys, old spaghetti legs, Ricky Ray, Willie Bless, and whoever comes next to bring back the chip and add another brick to the legacy. Cause it's double E over everything. Double E's a legacy. Double E over everything. Double E, we rising up.
A win is a win. A win could become a launching point. The Edmonton Elks hope that's the case from last week as they left Montreal with a come-from-behind win, hoping it's the start of a run of picking up W's. The Elks welcome the Toronto Argonauts, who were on the other end of a comeback last week, leading their coach to question their locker room. Will the Edmonton Elks build off the momentum of last week's win? Will Toronto respond to their head coach? Elks, Argos, a Friday night football in the Canadian Football League. But first, this is the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. Iwanyk and Jay Milne with here live on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Thank you to everyone for tuning in across the Edmonton Sports Talk audio streams, edmontonsportstalk.com, tune in, iHeartRadio, Apple Music. Thank you to those watching on YouTube as well. Elks, Argos coming up just after 7 o'clock down at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. The Elks looking for their third victory of the season, which I also believe the Toronto Argonauts are trying to do as well. Pick up their third victory of the season. Nasty chat, you can jump in. You can also text the 780-218-9999. Jay, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Matthew. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Likewise. But with you, not with me.
Not with you.
With you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Game day. Let's go.
It's game day. We've got paninos.
Ooh. What I wanted to ask you. Hot?
I just went with hot.
Attaboy.
It's never hot.
Attaboy.
With all due respect to the Italian Center, those aren't hot.
It's just a nice spice.
Yeah. I got a bottle of Orangina.
Whoa.
You ever had Orangina?
No.
Oh.
Maybe?
A little bit of a treat then coming. I like it.
Is it in an oddly shaped bottle?
Yeah. It's like very bottom heavy.
Right.
It's fat almost because it's got big booty.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Baby got back.
And I also got an interesting salad. Got this one at the grocery store.
Okay, go on.
It's a mango lemonade.
Cool. That's the dressing?
I don't like it. Just this was a limited edition thing, and I just like mangoes, and I like anything with lemon, and lemonade obviously has lemon.
Oh, it'll be refreshing.
And then I've got some grape tomatoes from the Italian Center. It was on deal. It was a good special. It's a good deal on that.
A few grape tomatoes on that salad. Man, we're gonna be eating like kings.
I just eat those straight.
Yeah,
they're delicious.
They are nice off the vine.
So we've got that tonight to look forward to. You're not here tuning in to find out what Jay and I are eating.
Yeah, maybe some people are.
I missed out on the Chinese food last time.
You did.
But I'm very excited about tonight, not going to lie. Let's get to the Edmonton Elks starting lineup. For those on YouTube, you'll be able to see the depth chart on your screen. It is Cody Fajardo behind center, the men protecting him from left to right. Ivy, Cordy, Beard, McKellar, Boyko. The receiving court, Dunbar Jr., Gittins Jr., Victor, Julian, Grant, and Smith. Rankin running back, Green is the fullback. Defensively on the D-line, Barlow, Brinkman, Serezna, Smith. Linebacking core, Morgan in between DeBlanco and Garnes. And from left to right in the secondary, Ross, Jackson, Metier, Williams, and Ford. Blanchard's going to kick and punt tonight. We will get to that a little bit later. Javon Leake is the returner for this game for the Edmonton Elks. Mr. Milne, injury report brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine.
Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sports Medicine. Call 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca. The big one here is Royce Metier is back at free safety. Maoga Clements is back. He'll be filling more of a special teams role. And Jacob Plamondon, who was recently picked up, re-signed with the club, is also put into the lineup. He's also going to be one of those players that's going to be a depth player on special teams. Cody Grace is out. He has been placed on the 6-game injured list. And Josiah Shackle, Golden Bears grad, is also out, but he is only on the 1-game list.
Argos to watch in this one. Nick Arbuckle, the Grey Cup winning quarterback from last year, he's still behind center as we don't know what's going on with Chad Kelly. Interesting note, Coxie listed as game time decision.
Yes.
This is going to be very important. This changes a lot about the game. it moves it very much. Like the Elks are the favorite. We will get to all that. We'll get to the Play Alberta lines and all that. They are the favorite for many reasons, for many people. If you take Coxie out of this equation, makes it even more better, easier. This favors the Elks even more. Game time division. I also have a guy, for no one cares, but Herslow, he's listed behind Mattel in the slot back position. I think he might slot in as a starter. He had a great game last week, 80 plus yards and a touchdown. I have my claim ready to drop him and pick up someone else if Coxie can't go. I'm going to be very focused on the Toronto Argonauts scratches for today. Probably the only person in the world that is very much excited about to seeing what's happened, because I need to make possibly some roster changes. They're playing a backup receiver, and I don't want to be playing a backup receiver. McManus, he's the star linebacker for the Toronto Argonauts, somebody that the Edmonton Elks are going to have to deal with tonight. Weather. It's not supposed to rain. The rain should be done in the city of Edmonton. 15 degrees. For kickoff, 30% chance of showers according to Environment Canada. Wind 20 kilometers an hour, will gust up to 40. By the time the game ends, it stays 15. It's one of those weird things. So it's 15 throughout, cloudy. It's very fall today, even though it's August. Very fall day. But that's the weather down at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. On the show today, running back Justin Rankin. We'll hear from him as he spoke to the media this week. 3 stories, our keys prediction, as well as our Play Alberta game day odds. But first, question of the game. Jay, you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Now, both are not an option. There's one or the other.
Okay.
You can't
I'm intrigued.
say both.
Well, just read it to me as it was on Twitter.
But I added at the very end, but both not an option.
Okay.
Which unit are the Edmonton Elks in most need of providing better play? O-line, D-line. The O-line has allowed the most sacks in the Canadian Football League. The D-line has gotten the least amount of sacks in the Canadian Football League. You could talk about pressures as well in there. The Elks have had a lot of extra pressure that Cody Fajardo and prior a little bit Trey Ford had to deal with. The defensive side, D-line hasn't got as much pressure as you want to throw in there as well. Which one is more important, though, of getting better play? Again, both is the likely answer. I'm taking that out of the equation. If you could give you one wish, and it's you got to give it to one of those lines to be much more improved today, which one would you give that to?
For me, that's easy. O-line. I think, they've given up 27 sacks already this season. They gave up 29 all of last year, right? And I know, okay, Trey Ford, sure, he makes a difference in that. Not that many sacks, though. This O-line needs to come together, and not only for protection of Cody Fajardo, to run the ball, to execute the run game. I think there's definitely more pressure on the D-line. What do you think?
I will take the defensive side of things because we've seen this offense have some success. I think they maybe found their recipe for success with the O-line as is. Just defense wins you championships. And if one of the reasons we thought the Elks were possibly going to go win a lot of games this season was partly because we thought the defense would get going right off the bat, led by that defensive line. This defense has taken a little bit of a step forward over the last few weeks. Imagine what they could do if they got to the quarterback a little quicker. Imagine what they could do if they could have forced that quarterback to just have to get rid of that ball a little bit more. I'm not even looking for sacks. Just pressuring that quarterback to get rid of that ball quicker and maybe allow your defensive backs to go make a play. What happened last week when McLeod Bethel-Thompson got hit on the play?
Yep.
What happened on that play when he got pressured, threw the ball, DB was able to make a play, Ford took it to the house. I think they could. I think the O-line this year has been, for the most part of the season, a little bit better than the defensive line for me personally. That if the D-line was going out there and consistently getting sacks, it opens things up for the Edmonton Elks. Maybe more offensive possessions. They're moving the ball a little bit more, tires the other defense out a little bit more. That helps the offensive line as well.
Sure. The reason also I will, provide this caveat is that Toronto has a worse run defense in the CFL. They're giving up an average of 114.8 yards per game. If there's a night that the Elks O-line can get it going and get a run game, a solid run game established, I would say it's against this Toronto defense.
One problem I have with that and now different starting quarterback, but against BC in that last meeting, which was just a horrendous game, BC at that point of the season was the worst run defense, and they barely ran the ball.
Yep. It's going to be a challenge.
Like it is, but it's there. There's a reason Toronto is the worst. Teams have rushed against them.
Yeah.
You got to attack that. You got to try it. And I don't want Jordan McSimmons to come out today and think, well, we'll just pass, because they're thinking we're going to run the ball.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how this offensive game plan develops throughout the course of the game. Obviously, you want them to be able to run the ball. It limits your offense severely if you don't have a run game that's established.
Do you know what the poll is?
You know what? I'm going to say 60-40 offense versus defense.
Did you look at the Twitter poll?
I haven't looked at it, I promise.
58.3, 41.7.
Yeah, that makes about sense.
O-line versus D-line.
Because there is an argument for both, Maddie. There is, and you made a compelling argument on when you said defensive line. I just think that the recency bias of the performance from last week, 0 rushing attempts in the second half, 0 yards rushing. Yes, I understand that doesn't fall squarely on the shoulders of the offensive line. There's also receivers included in the blocking scheme. I understand that. But you compound that with giving up 6 sacks, and it's just a bad night for that line. And I think, much like last game, I thought that was a chance for the Elks to go out and grab that game. Mm-hmm. You have McLeod Bethel-Thompson, who doesn't scare many defenses. You have an injury-laden Montreal team. That was an opportunity for the team to go get a win. Okay, this team can now win. They've established that. They felt like they were win. They should have won against Hamilton. Now this is an opportunity for the offense, especially the offensive line and the receivers, everybody that's involved in the blocking, run game coordination. This is a chance to explode, to come out and say, okay, because it's confidence too. You go out and you rush the ball for over 100 yards. That's a confidence builder.
Let's get to a Play Alberta Game Day odds check brought to you by Play Alberta. PlayAlberta.ca. EST Sports. Deposit $20, get a $50 free sports bet. YG 50, deposit $5, get a $50 free sports bet. What's exciting about Play Alberta this week? We've asked for it. They have delivered. We've got player markets.
I couldn't find them.
I'll show it to you. Okay, if you go to football, click Canada, click more. You'll have CFL and you'll have CFL player markets.
Oh, that's where it is.
Click CFL player markets. You got Fajardo over under 281.5. Arbuckle's at 302.5. You got Rankin and McMahon in terms of running. Gittins Jr., Dunbar, Coxey, and Mitel all for the receiving.
Look at that.
Tomorrow
okay.
There'll be more for Saskatchewan. Hamilton, it seems like they're doing a day of.
That's fine.
For these. But if you go to CFL, click football, click Canada, click CFL player markets. Also, then there is the game tonight. The Elks -3 favorites, -159 on the money line. If you go to EST specials on the side, there's actually 3 CFL plays. There's a lock shot parlay earlier, which features the Elks just outright winning. Saskatchewan -2.5, BC -2.5, boosted to +392. Jay's play of the day today, +133. It is the Elks to cover 5.5. So the Elks win by 6 or more. But then Jay and Matt's big play of the game. Elks win by 3 or more. Elks scoring 28 plus points. And Fajardo 275 plus passing. That is boosted to +237. You can get that at EST Specials on Play Alberta, playalberta.ca.
I like that. I think that's an attainable.
It's a nice, as we were discussing yesterday, we've mixed it up. Some of them have been bigger.
This is okay.
Just a 3-parter.
What's it plus? Plus what?
237.
That ain't nothing to scoff at, Matty.
Just a nice 3-parter. Don't have to get too confusing.
Can I say something?
Get things done, please.
I guarantee you.
We got a guarantee.
I guarantee you that there would not be player markets available on the CFL if Edmonton Sports Talk and Play Alberta had not partnered up.
I agree with you on that.
And kudos to the fine people over at Play Alberta for saying, hey, these guys are saying we need this. Kudos to them for getting it up, because that's a pretty quick turnaround when you're talking about something as big as Play Alberta is.
100%.
So if I was by my board, I would have given a crowd clapping sound. Round of clicks for Play Alberta. Hey,
There you go.
Matthew.
There you go. I got it done. I know a little bit about that board. Let's get to our three stories of this game as the Elks getting set again to take on the Argos. 7 o'clock down at Play Albert Field at Commonwealth Stadium. I'm just doing my regular stuff. You can watch it on TSN. And if you're in the tailgate or going down, say hi to Trev. He's at the Edmonton Sports Talk tailgate spot. Storyline number 1, offensive explosion coming. The air show on its way. Toronto Argonauts this season. You talked about not having a run attack. 68% of their offensive plays, have been passing plays. They have scored 31 points or more in 3 straight and 5 of the 9 games this season. By the way, do you know their record? Well, that's 1-4.
1-4.
In that, we have the same stats package. Arbuckle this season. I'm not a big Nick Arbuckle fan. I have watched him and I have not been high on him. But this season, he has been a quarterback that we thought he would have been a number of years ago. He is producing at a pretty solid level. He's second in the Canadian Football League in passing yards. He's basically averaging 300 yards a game and 2 touchdowns. The Edmonton Elks need to counter that. You've got an Edmonton Elks offense that themselves are the only team in the Canadian Football League. They kept this streak alive last week. They're the only offense in the Canadian Football League to score 2 or more offensive touchdowns in every game this season. However, under Cody Fajardo, they've only scored 24 points. That's their most amount of points that they have scored. This season, the highest that they have was 39. Then they had 28. And even with Trey, it was just those 2 games. Otherwise, it was much lower. Can this Edmonton Elks offense match the Toronto Argonauts' firepower, if you will, offensively?
Absolutely. And I think that has a lot more to do with the Elks defense than anything. The defense is going to be put to the test. They need to stand up and make a difference tonight. Cody Fajardo has proven that with the ball in his hands, he's an elite quarterback. I think right now he's a top 3, for sure, top 4 quarterback in the CFL. Right now, given, for the games he's played, he's been outstanding. I mean, he's 76.6 completion percentage. His career high is 71 point something. That's number 1 in the history of the CFL. He's achieving higher than that this season. And only 2 other players in the CFL have a completion percentage above 75 in a single season. That's Nathan Rourke and Ricky Ray. So if you can be in that company, that's elite. I do think they can handle it, and I think they can match the Toronto Argonauts offense.
Yeah, it's firstly, that's the challenge for the defense here. This defense has been getting better, but this Toronto team has put up points against some pretty good teams, and that's been pretty impressive to see. Again, this comes down to Coxie.
Big time.
If he's not there, that does change an element of this game without question. There's just a threat that is taken away from Nick Arbuckle. But now offensively, this is something that we just already talked about with the offensive line. I know you guys talked with Jeff Hecht about it. Like, this is a case of needing, though, to get Justin Rankin going. You've already talked about the Toronto Argonauts having the lowest, the being the worst rush defense in the Canadian Football League. You need to get Rankin going also just to open things up for Cody Fajardo. If all of a sudden Rankin is breaking up, 5-6 yards a run, now they got to creep a little bit more forward. And then that's when Cody can hit you with something deep. That's when you can maybe execute a play action.
Absolutely.
That's the one thing that the Edmonton, we talked about it, at the Nasty Bash. You and Reed both said there was no point running the football in that second half because you couldn't. Well, you also then couldn't run something like a play action because they're not expecting you to run at that point. Today, if you can establish Justin Rankin, then also maybe you can establish a nice play action for Cody Fajardo, who can throw the ball deep. And maybe you hit someone for a big gain, which will help you match this potential offensive firepower from the Toronto Argonauts. You got the 2 worst defenses going at it, by the way, statistically. Mm-hmm. Take it away, the Elks playing better the last 2 weeks. These are the 2 worst teams defensively in terms of giving up points, which should make for a more entertaining football game if you're on the outside.
Are you an offensive guru, Matthew?
No. Why?
Neither am I.
I like defense.
But you and I both know
that
an effective ground game opens up so much more of the offensive coordinator's playbook. It's almost like it's surprising to me that they held on and won that game in Montreal in some instances, given how little they ran the ball.
And the part of that credit, which I know it's on this stat sheet, you don't have it highlighted, so I'm going to borrow this. But Justin Rankin, 7 big plays this season. 3 of them as pass receptions. That's like, I will give them credit for that part, is that they found a way to continue to use Justin Rankin last week. And that's the key. You need to be able to use Rankin and Leak even beyond handing them the ball off to them. But that can only take you so far. And, you know, I'm sure Toronto and their defense, they were paying attention to how Montreal, whether they didn't adjust, you want to say, or they couldn't handle what the Elks did. I would assume that the Toronto defense is planning for that a little bit better. That said, they're not as good as the Montreal defense, so I don't know if it's going to mean much. But it's clear that the biggest threat for the Edmonton Elks offense, taking quarterback aside, it's Justin Rankin.
Yeah.
And you have to have Justin Rankin be able to get that ball and really, I want 20 touches. I want 15 rushes and 5 catches. Is that a fair number?
Yeah, sure. The more the merrier. He's a dynamic offensive player. When he touches the ball in space, good things happen. Find ways to do that. Find ways to get him that. And hopefully it's just with a simple running game, which is the position he plays as running back. Now, I checked in. You know who's on the scene down at Commonwealth? EST's on the scene. Dustin's calling the game. Tommy's on the sideline. I text Tommy. I say, update on DeMonte Coxie. He's in.
Damn it.
He's in.
I'm making a change. Give me a second.
Oh,
It's all drafted. It's all fully as a draft. I just have to hit. Oh, do I pick up? No. Do I do two? I hate playing two of the same team.
Why?
I can either pick up Javon Catoy or go Devarius Daniels.
I've been high on Catoy all season.
That was my first reaction. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
What does that do to change? Like, I don't think it changes you at all.
Well, it can't. You're preparing for Coxie to be playing.
Yeah. But for your thoughts of feelings going into this game.
Nope.
I knew that. Nope.
Doesn't change a thing.
And it makes me more nervous. I'm a nervous person for this one.
Yeah, that's fine.
I wish I could be in your spot. I wish I could be where some of the other Double E fans are, which is feeling good after that win, because there's a lot of reason to feel good about this team over the last 3 weeks. I talked about it on EST Afternoons. I'm scarred. I just feel like anytime good things start coming for this franchise, I'll use the Charlie Brown analogy. Lucy takes the football away. And I'm just worried that this is setting up to be that trap game for the Edmonton Elks, where expecting a good game, back home, look, things are rolling, going against the worst rush defense. Your best offensive player besides quarterback is your running back, so he should be able to get the ball and make things happen. The defense is improving. Whereas Meche is back in the lineup. But boom, all of a sudden the Argos are going to be up like they were last week against Ottawa, 22-1, but they're going to find a way to hold it off this week. I have those scars that I'm like, almost like, when you put the arm up and you flinch, I'm flinching when it comes to the Edmonton Elks.
Well, that's just the optimist in me. But here's the thing, Matt. At some point, that's going to change. Lucy's going to keep the ball down and Charlie Brown's going to kick it through the uprights. And do you think that this team is closer to making that change now than they were last year? Like, do you think the front office, the GM, the head coach, like, things have changed? Cody Fajardo is now clearly established. Hey, this team has a number one starting quarterback. No questions asked. That could play with you for 3, 4, 5 seasons still. Okay? I'm sorry. It's not Trey Ford right now.
Yeah, I know.
And maybe not never. But Cody Fajardo is legit.
I'll just throw that one out there.
He is playing legit.
Is right now, but I am worried that there's a loss coming tonight.
You're worried.
And then this all goes away.
That's okay. You're just looking at it more pragmatically.
Yeah, I'm worried
you looked at this team as what they've done to you in the past.
Yeah, and it's like I'm also looking at like I think I'm not going to be comfortable with this team until I get through the 2 games against Canada.
Matthew, look at me. Look at me in the eyes.
I'm looking at you, Jay.
Has this team hurt you?
I've been hurt many times by this team.
It's okay.
Or I've seen it.
Part of healing is admitting.
I know, but I'll say I think no matter what, it's going to be those 2 Calgary games that are going to change it all for me.
Well, Labor Day is always that way.
You can go win against Toronto. You go win against Ottawa. It's not even Labor Day. It's just the series. Get one. If this team can go and take one of those ones, then I'll feel really good. You went against a solid team and you got that victory. I'm worried that they're going to go grab even Toronto and Ottawa, and then Calgary's going to be like, we'll show you. You're not with the big boys, and push them aside, and boom, it's over. season just derails at that point.
Yeah, but right now it's Toronto.
Yeah.
Right now the task at hand for this team is to beat Toronto, who, if they are contenders and not pretenders, they need to lay a thumping on. I've said that
agree.
A double-digit victory for this team would be just what the doctor ordered, and what should be expected of a competent, capable team. A team capable of switching your mind, changing your thoughts.
I will say, I said this with Benny on EST Afternoons too. I'm okay with not a double-digit win or anything like that, as long as basically for the most part, from start to finish, we watched that game and it was never in doubt. Like, even if it gets to 3 points or something, we sit there and be like, yeah, but Edmonton's got this. Like, if we couldn't get through almost an entire football game, and sometimes like Toronto, they might start with the football and score a field goal to start, so that changes things a little bit. But for the most part, if we watch the majority of 4 quarters and we just sit there and be like, this was never in doubt, I will be very happy about that one. Doesn't even have to be double digits, just one where you feel the confidence that this team, no matter what, like either, the defense is just going to go make the next stop, or the offense is just going to score that next point, put this game even further away. If I could get to that point tonight, I'd be very happy with them.
Well, let us know what you think. Send us in some text. If you're in the Nasty chat, go ahead. Let us know what you think about tonight's game, or you can hit us up on the text line 780-218-9999.
Second story of this game. Never thought I'd have this as a second story of a game, but this could have an impact. Cody Grace to the 6th game.
Yeah.
Vincent Blanchard will handle both duties, kicking and punting. A few years ago, Sean White did this for the Edmonton, I guess it would have been Eskimos at the time. And it caused him to start missing a few field goals because of a dead leg. Cody Grace has filled the shoes of Jake Julian without any problems. Jake Julian, top punter last year, going to Bucks. He was waived. Cody Grace comes in this year, has done an excellent job. But field position is a big thing. And you just never know. Like, I'm going to be a little concerned today. What if there's that one bad punt, which, hey, Cody Grace kind of had against Hamilton. He made up for it by running for that football. But those shanks, that could be a huge turning point of a football game where all of a sudden you change the field position of a game. When the Edmonton Elks, if they have to go punt, it's going to be an interesting thing to see what happens. Is Vincent Blanchard capable of this? And this is to me, it's not he can't do it. It's not oh boy, get ready for chaos. It's more of, I really don't know what to fully expect. He was fine last week through 3 kicks when he had to fill in place of Grace. He was about 6 yards short on his average than Cody Grace, but we shall see. But this, to me, there is a greater than 0% chance that on the post-game show tonight, there might be a situation where we're sitting there and be like, this one punt kind of hurt this team, changed things a little bit.
What is that noise?
Oh, I think Benny might have been leaving.
Oh,
we just heard it aloud, like da-da, and I had no idea where that was coming from. But then the door opened, so.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Vincent Blanchard, through his university career, U Sports career at Laval, punted in 186 times for a 39.7 average.
No,
he's capable of punting. Okay.
Yeah.
He's punted before.
But that's not at a CFL level.
Not even close.
And I don't expect him to replace Cody Grace.
But let me ask you this then.
Can't do that.
Does that now change the offensive game plan? Does that now change the thought process of saying, well,
go for it a little bit?
Yeah, maybe go for it. If the field difference, specifically around midfielder, you're just into their territory. We're saying, are we going to really gain that much from punting it, or should we just go for it?
Well, they went and they punted with him last week. If there was a time to possibly go do that, it could have been last week when you didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that because I think you're also trying to build confidence for Vincent Blanchard. And I think if you're expecting now Cody Grace will be out for a period of time. Now, they did sign a global kicker. I don't know if they're anticipating that he will be available for them maybe in the next couple of weeks and it's just Blanchard until that point. If that's the case, maybe it causes you to go a little bit more. But if you're thinking Blanchard's going to be your punter for a period of time, I think you got to show him you've got the confidence for him to grow into that role. Here's another thing. I don't know if any team does this right now. If he does well enough, could we get back to Sean Fleming 2.0? Handle both duties at all times.
I guess to be determined. TBD, bro.
I just don't know if any team does that anymore. That happened a lot back in the day.
Yeah, it did. It did. Now, place kickers and punters have become more specialized.
Yeah, but you can save you could add another American somewhere else, or to a degree for some teams, a global player somewhere else.
True. Dawson Nielsen in the nasty chat. First game of the year for myself. Thank you, EST. My record on attending after name switch is 5-0. Edmonton will win tonight. Book it. Second half of the season starts today. Book it, Maddie. He said book it. That should clearly help with your fears and your worries.
Well, second half does start next week officially. Just throwing that out there. Today's game 9.
He's directionally correct.
Today's game 9. Next week will officially be the second half of this season. Okay, I'm not.
Do you feel better now?
No, I've been in that spot too many times where I've gone and went, book it. And then I have to come on the post-game show and go, that was a disaster.
You're not a book it guy. Come on. Give me one instance when I've been with you where you've been.
Why, you've only done this. It's only your second year with me. Yeah, there hasn't been a moment I can say book it.
I've hardly heard, you don't even make predictions. So how can you say you're a book it guy?
Because I used to. There's a reason I stopped.
Okay, well then you're the problem. Just keep doing what we're doing here. Everything will be just fine. I'm just kidding. You're not the problem.
Before we get to the third story, what do you expect much? Like, what are you expecting from Royce Metier today? It's good to have him back, but really for this season, he aligned, and Jeff talked with you and Reed, but he pointed out as well too. Like the guys that Ed has brought in defensively for agency wise, they really haven't contributed to the level that we were expecting. And Royce Metier is one of those guys that when he was in the lineup, we noticed him when he was getting beat a little bit, wasn't really that impactful as of yet. But he still has been an all-star. He still is a Grey Cup champ. He is going up against his former team, as is a lot of other defenders, including 3/4 of that defensive line going up against their former club. What are you expecting to see from Royce Metier? How big of a return is this?
I want to see something. Because prior to the injury, I'll be honest, Royce Metier had not exceeded anyone's expectations. In fact, he was falling quite below them. I want to see Royce Metier of last year in Toronto, right? I want to see that kind of attitude, that player at safety. The safety is a very important position. It can be a game-changing position, right? Look at the Stavros Katsantonis from Hamilton. He changes games. That's what I want to see out of Royce Metier. Look, he's been in the league 7 years. This is a proven veteran player. He needs to show that and help lead that secondary. Because up till now, he hasn't done it.
Trev posted a picture of him at Elks tailgate.
Who's he with?
I see Troy, Lee. I don't know who the other ones are off the bat. Also, just quick, look at Trev's hair.
Where has he posted it to?
On his own Twitter account, YouTube_Trev. 3 minutes ago. There it is.
Holy smokes, what a quaff.
His hair is good.
He's got great hair.
Now, we're having a chat about that earlier this week. I understand why he wears a hat during the morning show. It sucks waking up early and you don't want to do your hair. I totally get that. He needs to wear his hair more.
That hair's on point.
Isn't it?
Yeah. If I had hair like that, I would never wear a hat. I don't wear a hat anyways, and I don't really have great hair.
I wear a hat only.
You have really good hair.
The only reason I wear hats is because I know, well, there's like, again, like I have an early morning tomorrow. I will not be showering in the morning. So I won't be doing my hair. So today, wash the hair, put a hat on.
Big day tomorrow.
I don't like my hats going in, like I don't like wearing product in my hair and then putting my hats on.
Yeah, no. You can't do that.
Hair has to be fully washed and then I can start wearing a hat. Actually, don't condition.
Conditioner is better.
What did you say?
I said conditioner is better.
Do need to buy some new conditioner. It's been a while since I used conditioner. Storyline number 3. Elks getting set to take on the Argos. 7 o'clock down at Albert Field at Commonwealth Stadium. This is Edmonton Sports Talk Green and Gold Kickoff Show. Iwanyk, Jay Milne. The third outright. This is actually a big playoff implication game. It's weird as I'm saying we're not even at the halfway point, but we've got to look at playoffs. Part of this going, BC is taking on Montreal tomorrow out in BC, in Vancouver. Based when you look at the line, it looks very much like this Als team without Davis Alexander, still no Tyson Philpott, still no Austin Mack, led by Caleb Evans, having crossed the country. Not going to look good. So like part of this is you have to, I think both these clubs assume that maybe BC is going to pick up 2 points tomorrow. They move to 10 points, tied with Winnipeg. If you're Toronto, BC is a team you haven't paid attention in because BC is right now holding the crossover spot. You're also 2 points behind Ottawa. You need to close ground. You blew it last week. You should have beat Ottawa. You are up 22-1. You blew that game. Tonight, you can go get that victory. You could be at 6 points. You could sit maybe 4 points back, if not 2 points, 4 points back of the BC Lions. When you're in the East, you just have to tie that Western club. It's your spot. You got to keep up pace. Also, Edmonton is a team that you're focusing on. And if you could pull off this victory, not only are you 2 points up on them, again, in theory, because you have the tiebreaker immediately, you're really 2 points up on them. The flip side for this, for the Edmonton Elks, from a Western standpoint, you go get this victory. BC wins this weekend. You're 4 points back. You have a game in hand. You go win that game in hand. You're 2 points back. You still meet BC later on in this season. Hypothetically, you go win that game. You're tied. The path is there where, like, you to a degree, the Edmonton Elks would almost control their own destiny when it comes to that fourth place spot. But here's where it gets very good for the Edmonton Elks. You beat the Argos today. You stay 2 points up on them. You're tied against Ottawa. You go beat Ottawa next week. You're 2 points up on Ottawa. And depending what Toronto does, you'd be 4 points up on them. Huge implications when it comes to the playoffs. And if you're the Edmonton Elks, you lose, like, you're really behind the eight ball in many, many ways. It's weird to talk about it on August 15th, and it's weird to talk about a 2-6 club going up against the 2-7 club. But this has major playoff implications.
Well, it's just, it keeps you in the conversation of playoffs. That's really all it is. Because right now you still have to catch one of BC or Winnipeg.
Which is more likely BC right now. I do stand by that one because you have a game in hand. That's a big difference maker to me there.
Yeah, I'm not even looking at the East because it doesn't matter unless you catch the fourth place team in the West.
But the flip side to this is if you are going to catch BC or Winnipeg, you got it like the one on tap is Toronto and Ottawa. You got to go win those games. But this also, did you spill?
I got a pin on my khaki shorts.
But this also creates that distance because at some point, the East is going to start playing a lot more Eastern games. Toronto's 1-5, so they'll start playing some more Eastern games, and there might be some wins to be had for them. So the question is, like, you could catch BC, but if they start picking up victories too, they're ahead of you. Like, any chance to keep them down at the bottom, you got to take that chance, I would think. But you're right. Like, you still have to first go catch BC or Winnipeg. The crossover doesn't matter. You could be ahead of Toronto and Ottawa, both of them. But if you're still behind Winnipeg and BC, you're out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, and this is a great opportunity to shove Toronto and Ottawa in back-to-back weeks down out of the way.
And quite frankly, Montreal, with the way things are going,
I mean, BC
you're not
right
sold
now
on Montreal with Davis Alexander coming back.
Oh, with Davis Alexander?
No,
sure.
You're not. Well, from last week, with the hammy.
Oh, yeah. No. Like, but if healthy, yeah, Davis Alexander is a game changer.
But I think there's going to have to be questions until the season is over of, is that going to get re-aggravated at any moment, the moment he comes back?
Fair enough. That's a valid point.
So Montreal, like, who knows about them even still to this degree? Like, I don't even know if it's a full guarantee that when Davis Alexander comes back, whether you could think that, well, now they're back. They're fine. He's a gamer, but
those hamstrings, man, that's this. I've said it before. That's the equivalent of a high ankle sprain in hockey. I mean, look at Trent Frederick last year. Came in after the trade deadline, injured. Okay, I'm back, re-aggravated the first shift against LA. Out till the playoffs. Came back, was not really his full self. It's hard to get over a hamstring injury, especially now that he's re-aggravated it. Problematic.
So maybe there's that team even. If the Elks win today, you're only 2 games back at the Montreal. We're second in the East. playoff implications all over. It's going to be a focus for a while here. The Elks need to go win this. If they lose today, I won't talk about playoffs again until they rattle off 3 straight.
Playoffs?
I'll make that promise right now. I ain't talking playoffs again in the Canadian Football League for the Elks this season.
I'll talk about them. Here's the thing.
If they win, until they win 3 straight. Because if you can't go beat Toronto, you're not worthy of talking about playoffs. I will go that. I'll make
That's
that
right. I said that off the top.
proclamation today.
You're pretenders, not contenders. This is a game that you have to show that this team wants it, that this team is capable of turning the season around. Huge game.
How much do you think weather plays into today? Just because it's cooler.
None. Football players would like that. As opposed to plus 28.
Yeah. If it was raining, a little different story.
If it was
nothing pops up.
downpouring, that would be a different story. But even a light sprinkle.
I don't think that field will be pretty dry.
Honestly, Matt, a light sprinkle or a football that's slightly wet is much easier to grip than a football that is completely dry. 100%. Lightly wet. It has a little bit of tackiness to it. It really does.
It's picking up the dew.
Yep.
The early morning dew.
Chris, I see what you're saying in the nasty chat. And what he's saying is if the Elks get blown away by the Argos, did they go back with Trey Ford? I'm not even looking at that right now. That's a valid question. If this in the post game we're talking about an Elks loss, maybe we could, but I'll stick with what I said before too. You go with Cody because you need to win games.
Well, I'll actually go on that. Talk to me on Labor Day after they all get blown out 3 straight. I think it would have to take something like that. 3 straight blowouts.
Fair.
But the Elks aren't losing 3 straight blowouts. They're not getting blown up by Toronto, Ottawa, then Calgary.
No.
Like, that's the thing. I know. Like, the Elks could lose today. Maybe we'll see Trey at a point during the game, but it'll be an easy answer who's the starting quarterback next week. The Elks could lose today 42-3. Cody Fajardo's your starting quarterback next week.
That's a guarantee to win. We're good.
There's that too.
Right?
But no,
I mean,
it's... I don't want to get. I don't know what it right now will take for a change to be made.
Well, and what does going back to Trey Ford do?
Yeah, you can't.
The jury's out. I'm sorry, it ain't happening.
Is that the jury's out or the jury's in? You want the jury's in?
Jury's in. Jury's giving their decision.
Jury's out is still. It's a question.
Jury's in.
But it's like it's just straight up. You're not doing it after 1 bad game from Cody. You're not doing it after 2 bad games from Cody in a row. You're not doing it after 3 bad games from Cody almost in a row. Unless I said like they're all full blowouts. It's just the only way we will talk about Trey as a starting quarterback or not as a quarterback for the Edmonton Elks is cleanup duty. Maybe if there's a blowout one way or the other, you might be up big and say, Cody, come on out. We don't want to hurt you. We don't want you to get hurt. That's it. There's no point right now in even going that far. So no, do you go back to Trey next game or stick with Cody if you get blown out tonight? It's not even what we would do. It's the answer is simple. It will be Cody Fajardo. It's his team. That's just where it goes.
I like that. That's fair.
We've got keys to get to. We've got predictions to get to momentarily here. Would you like to hear from Justin Rankin, who's the starting quarterback for
I would
Edmonton
love
Elks?
to.
Justin Rankin spoke with the media a few days ago. Here's his media avail.
That you can kind of feed off of when you do win to make those.
Yeah, the energy always feels good. Like obviously you want to use the momentum of a win and, continue to stack on those days that, let us play a game like that. So, that's really the biggest thing is just kind of like, rinsing and repeating it, so that's just kind of the vibe of the team and of the morale right now.
It was a very interesting kind of wild, strange game. A lot of wild moments happened. Did the group show more maturity, poise, and steadiness, you think, in the tough moments?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Again, like this is a new team. There was a lot of growing pains and things that we had to go through. A lot of bonding, believing in each other, believing in the coaches, believing in the scheme. And I think, this is one of those games that showed that, like, we're starting to do that. We're starting to, like you said, mature, starting to, show a little bit more resilience and, be able to kind of overcome and finish through adversity, things like that. So
you're the leading receiver from a running back.
You ain't never seen nothing like it.
It's been a while, man. Like by 100 yards, I think Oliveira's behind you.
Okay.
You're the 3rd leading receiver on this team. Like some running backs, when you get past a yard, it's a bit of a dice throw, right?
Yeah.
They have to turn their shoulders. You're going down the field running routes here.
Yeah.
Where did that ability come from?
I mean, I don't really think it's nothing new. Like, again, like everybody knows, I was brought in as a receiver.
Right.
So, it was just kind of something I'm used to, even before, the CFL. Like, I've always ran routes. I've always been like a receiving back. And I take pride in that, shoot, like, if the run game ain't working, like, give it to me through the air. I don't want to leave myself with just being a one-way, one-trick pony. So, I mean, again, you guys know I was here as a receiver in camp, so It's nothing really new. I'm just glad that, everybody kind of trusts me and believes in me to be able to, like, throw me those balls and, put me in routes, like receiver routes. So it feels good.
Yeah, I asked Cody Fajardo about it, and he says what's impressive about, you staying in the game like that is, a running back. Some running backs, zero yards off 5 carries, they might shut down. You don't.
Yeah, I mean, I want to win, so like I'm a firm believer. I could care less if I get the ball 30 times, if I get it 0 times. If we win, like, I'm satisfied. I'm fine with that. And, if there's a different way that I'm able to contribute, whether it's blocking, catching the ball, whatever it is, like, I'm going to do it. No complaints, no questions, no hesitation to ask. So, I take pride in, just winning.
Is it a case that teams know how good you were rushing the football last year and they're maybe adjusting to that? Like, I don't know. It's a little strange to see how much the run game has struggled lately.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's a focal point of a lot of teams. When they're watching our film, is stop the run. And I think that just comes with who we have in the backfield. It's me and Javon. So I think teams kind of focus on that. I mean, they're stacking the box. 10 or 9 dudes in the box. It's kind of hard to run against that every time. So, but I mean, we're finding a way. We're figuring it out. We're getting there. We still got a lot of time, a lot of growing to do. So, we're just looking forward to being able to get that running game going.
Now, with this team, the chance to stack wins, and now you're playing teams that you directly have to catch. So
yeah.
Now you face, especially the next 2 weeks, if that crossover avenue does open up to you. Hey, they're right in front of you now.
Heck yeah. I mean, again, like, I think from here on out, like, at least shoot in my brain, I think in a lot of other guys' brains, like, every game is, let's win. It's a must win. Yeah. Let's not lose anymore. Obviously that's the goal, but, we don't have any more to spare. So, regardless of whether they're on, our side of the conference or other side of the conference, like, we want to win every game, and that's kind of the goal. And, we look forward to doing that. So, heck yeah.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
There is Justin Rankin speaking to the media earlier this week as the Elks get set to take on the Toronto Argonauts down at Play Albert Field at Commonwealth Stadium. Updating you on our poll question of the night. What unit are the Elks in most need of providing better play? O-line still leads ahead of the D-line. Still a few more minutes. Also, if you go to playalberta.ca, download the app for our Jay and Matt's big play of the game. Plus 237. Elks to win by 3 or more. Elks to have 28 or more team points, and Fajardo 275 plus passing yards. Again, boosted to plus 237. Keys to an Edmonton Elks victory, Mr. Jay Milne.
Oh, where do you want me to start?
Well, don't only do one, because I have to do one, and don't take them all like you've done a bit in the past.
Okay, what one do you want me to take?
I don't know.
Turnovers, protect the QB, or run the damn ball?
2 or 3.
Run the damn ball. Second down conversions need to be better. How do you convert second downs? Well, you do well on first down. Doing well on first down means you have a competent run game. Second down conversions, the double E are 42.4%. Worst in the CFL. BC's the best at 54.6%. 42.4% on second down conversion for this team. When they are 2nd and 1, 2nd and all the way up to 2nd and 6.
2nd and manageable.
2nd and manageable. Let's call it that. 58% conversion rate. 2nd and long, which is 2nd and 7 or higher, 35%. It may sound hard. It may sound easy for me just to say, but first downs are what kills this team.
I have a question then.
I have an answer.
Well, I don't know if you will.
I bet I will.
What if we see a first half again like last week where the run game's not going? No matter, like, let's say they hand the ball off 12 times in the first half for 15 yards.
This is not the Montreal defense. This is the worst rushing defense in the league. They've given up over 114 yards on average every game. At one point, the levee's going to break. Whether it's Justin Rankin pounding the ball inside or Javon Leake finding a seam and taking it to the house and collecting 70-plus yards on one play. Stick with it tonight because this team gives it up.
I would like to see more leak to the outside. I don't think we've seen enough of that this season.
Or a leak on some sort of a counter play where you're moving bodies.
I just do wonder if this Elks O-line is struggling and if what we've seen over the last number of weeks is more of a personnel problem. What if
I don't believe that. I don't think it is. These guys didn't become inept at O-line overnight. They have the skill set. They just need to put it together. We had David Beard on our show earlier in the week. He said at the end of the day, you need to win those one-on-one battles. It's about compete. And if they can get it all moving in the same direction at the same time on the same play, boom, you're ripping off 15-yard runs. And by the way, now that I can access the Play Alberta player props.
Well, you could access it before. You just
now that I could find it. Now that I could find it, I'm on Justin Rankin over 48.5 yards.
I really wanted to throw Rankin into the big play of the day.
Little gun shy.
After last week, yeah, because if it was yards, we would have hit that play last week.
They need to rush the ball for over 100 yards. And if they're doing that, I feel that Justin Rankin's going to be responsible for 60 to 70% of that.
My key to an Elks victory, I'm doing something I don't ever do. In all my time of this, I always try to do something different the next week or mix it up. If I go back to the well, I wait a few weeks. This week, I'm going back to the well last week. Interception. Nick Arbuckle this season, interception-wise, from week 1 through week 10, and there's a bye week in week 6 there. 2 interceptions, 1 interception, 1 interception, 1 interception, 1 interception, no interceptions, 1 interception, 1 interception. All games but one this season, Nick Arbuckle has thrown at least 1 interception. Nick Arbuckle is at some point in this game going to put the ball in an area where the Edmonton Elks defensive backs or safety, their secondary, could go make a play and take that football and cause the turnover. Last week, MBT put one up. Terrell Ford grabbed it, took it to the house for 6. I'm not saying you have to go necessarily take it to the house for 6. I'm saying you got to capitalize and get some points off it, whether defense or offense. But you better have a turnover in this game. You better have an interception in this game because Nick Arbuckle's going to do it. He's going to put that ball in a spot for you to take it. And if you allow Nick Arbuckle to have a clean football game today, because this is a guy so far this season, he's averaging his worst passing game is 342 yards. But for the most part, he's around that 300 mark, if not higher. And this is a guy that for the most part of the season is throwing 2 touchdowns. In fact, since week 5, he's thrown 2 touchdowns or more. Last week, he threw 3 in every game. But he's also going to throw that interception. Can you make him pay? And can you make the Argos overall pay when he puts that interception up there? Yes, Mr. Milne.
Can I add something to your...
Please.
Capitalize off the turnover as well. They are last in turnovers forced, the Elks are, with 9, and they've only gotten 24 points off those 9 turnovers. That's not good enough. Hamilton has gotten 64 points off of their 23 turnovers. I mean, these points add up in critical times of the game. They did it last week.
It was a 14-point swing.
Tyrell Ford, pick 6. Niles Morgan busts up the middle on a missed field goal, converted into a touchdown.
It's 10 points separating them and Ottawa for 8th spot for points off turnovers. 10 points is a significant amount.
That's the difference between a win and a loss in a lot of games because a lot of CFL games are tight.
Well, Winnipeg's big win a couple weeks ago was because of, partly the special teams and turnovers. Wasn't their offense playing great? It was the turnover.
That's the only thing that scares me.
Which part?
Is the CFL is just producing nail biter after nail biter after nail biter after nail biter.
The last 5 games have a combined margin of victory of 12 points.
And have been won in the last 40 seconds of a game.
It's been, from an entertainment perspective, it's been fantastic.
I hope this is
breaks the trend.
Devastatingly boring in the Double E favor.
I hope not boring.
Terrible.
I don't want boring football.
You and I will be playing Tecmo because it's so out of hand. Well, we couldn't do that. We still have to analyze.
There was a game this year where we were able to still analyze without,
Yeah, true.
We were still able to analyze. I'd just leave that one right there. Prediction, Mr. Milne.
Well, I have to back up my play of the day.
I was just going to say, you better be backing it up.
And I have to back up our play of the day.
Which is, okay, yeah, I see where that
Elks over 28.
Yeah.
Minus 2.5. Fajardo. 275 plus. 38-28 Elks. High scoring affair.
Yeah.
But the Elks ultimately come out on top.
That's not going to be a boring football game.
That'd be a great game.
Unless actually, if then they start a little bit comeback. Who knows?
Have the Elks started one game on defense this year?
Hamilton.
That's it, hey? That's right, because they returned the kickoff for 74 yards.
Yeah, and then they scored a touchdown. BC,
plays in.
I think, for week 1. I think
Really?
BC started because they moved down the field and then they got the stop. I'd have to go back. We have still a little bit of time here. Let me take a quick look. So week 2, the Edmonton Elks were on a bye. Week 3, the Edmonton Elks were hosting the Montreal Alouettes. They started with the football.
Chris, give me a score. If you want to put your score in the nasty chat, I will write those down. We'll see who's best.
Week 4, the Elks started with the football against Winnipeg. Against Ottawa, Edmonton started with the football. Against BC here, BC started with the football. So 2 games against BC and Hamilton.
Seems like they've started.
What happened against Saskatchewan? In Saskatchewan,
They started with the ball.
the Elks did?
Yeah.
The Elks did start with the football, and then in Montreal, I don't remember. How do I not remember last week of all of them?
Well, we were in the middle of a gong show of a nasty.
The Elks started. I clicked the wrong game for that one. The Elks last week, they started with football. Yeah, so 3 games, 2 BCs in Hamilton.
What's your prediction?
I predict Jay and I are going to have a wonderful time tonight, eating some wonderful paninos from the Italian Center. You like that one?
Nope.
I know you didn't. Thank you to everyone for tuning in to the Green and Gold Kickoff Show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. He's Jay Milne. I'm Iwanyk. Elks, Argos coming up in mere minutes down at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. If you watch the game on TSN, 2 of our guys will be giving it to you. Dustin Nielsen with Glenn Suter in the booth. Tom Gazzola roaming the sidelines. Already given us insider info as Coxie will be in the lineup for the Toronto Argonauts tonight, as he was a game time decision for this one. Everyone enjoy the football game tonight between the Elks and the Argos. Elks looking for the 2nd straight victory. We will be back with the Green and Gold post game show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Once this ends, we will recap it all and we will take all your thoughts as well. On behalf of Jay, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in to the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. We'll talk to you once it's over. Enjoy the football game.